So in this video I'm going to speak about creating a topology in UCSPE, and first of all you should have downloaded this from Cisco website. The good thing about this is you do not have to have a contract ID. All you need to do is to just go to software.cisco.com/download/home, then search for UCSPE and download the latest version. I have done this and I have created a virtual machine for that, but I'm going to create another one to show you how we can import this, how we can customize this, and how we can customize the topology. So basically this is a file that I have downloaded. This is something like 2 gigabytes, and it doesn't really need a lot of resources, although in my previous import I have assigned this 8 CPUs and 16 gigabytes of RAM. You do not really need to go with this. You can just go with the default configuration. Also, you can see that it has 3 different network adapters. I have configured them with NAT, but I'm going to configure this with something else. So let me open my network adapters here. I have I'm on a server, of course, and you can see that I have my Ethernet adapter here. I have VMware installed. I'm using VMware, so I can just go with VMware VMnet1, which is going to be the host adapter. So if I click on that and go to details, you can see that the IP address is 192.168.200. This is the range that I have. I can change the range, but I guess this is going to be okay, and I'm going to use this one. Also, if you just go to VMware Workstation, in my case I'm importing this to VMware Workstation. You can import this to let's say VirtualBox. Of course, this is an OVA file. Of course, you can download the zip file and install that manually, but this is OVA, so this is going to be very easily imported into VMware. So what I was saying is you can just go to VMware Workstation if you're using that, or if you are on other versions of VMware. What you need to do is to go to Virtual Network Editor. This is going to open this for me, and I'm going to click on Change Setting to enable administrative change on that. And you can see that I have VMnet1, and this is the 192.168.200 address that I have here. I can change this to 10.10.200. Click on Apply, and I can assign DHCP range of IP addresses to that in case I want to enable DHCP. So I can click on DHCP setting. You can see that it starts from 128. Let's say that I want to start from 11. So that's going to be 10.10.211 to 10.10.200.254. And I can change the release time and stuff like that, but this is okay. I'm going to click on Apply. And it says that connect the host virtual adapter to this network. That's okay. Use the local DHCP service to distribute the IP address. I just changed the DHCP setting. So I'm going to click on OK. And then I'm going to create a new virtual machine. So I just go and create a new virtual machine. Or not this one, because that's an OVA file. So I'm going to go and say open a virtual machine, or open appliances in case you are working on VirtualBox. So I'm going to select this file that I have downloaded, click on that, and then the name is going to be VM UCSPE, let's say 2. And I'm going to save it in a folder, so I click on Browse, I go to the folder that I have my VMs in that. This is the folder that I go and put my VMs on that, and I'm going to create a new folder. The name of the folder is VM UCSPE _2. And when I created this, I selected and click on OK. So this is going to be created in this folder, and I'm going to click on Import. So the import is not so long. That's going to be something like 30 seconds or so. And after that, I'm going to edit the settings of the virtual machine that I just created from importing this file. Let's wait for this to finish. So the installation is almost finished. And now that the import is complete, the virtual machine is created for me. Now you see that it says 2 gigabytes of RAM and 1 processor is going to be enough. I have lots of resources on this server, so I'm going to increase the resources a little bit. Let's say I'm going to give this 8 gigabytes of RAM. I'm going to go to processor. I have 2 processors on my system, and each one of them I'm going to assign something like 4 cores to that, so that's going to be 8 CPU cores. And for network adapters, I'm going to select VM1. So I just go to custom and I select VM1, which is host only. Or I can select host only from here, it doesn't matter which one. I can just click on that and all of them are going to be host only for now. Later I can change the setting, of course. Now everything seems to be good. Let me just go through the settings. Memory 8 GB, processor 2, and hard disk. I'm not going to select anything for that. And in the options, the general is a Linux machine, CentOS version 5. I'm not going to modify any of them because this is pre-configured for me. And for power on, nothing special. For let's say VMware tool, I can synchronize guest time, but doesn't really matter. And then the appliance view, I'm not going to assign any share to this, so nothing here. And for advanced, everything seems to be good. Okay, click on OK, and then the installation of UCSPE is going to start. So what I need to do is to power on this virtual machine. The installation is quite simple. It is going to start with just clicking inside here and hitting enter, and nothing more than that. That's going to take something like a 5 minutes to 10 minutes or something like that, based on the resources that you have on your Cisco on your system. And when it is done, it is going to give me an IP address. Using that IP address, I'm going to start the changes on my topology. So I'm going to wait for this to finish, and after that I'm going to show you how we can make some changes to the topology that we have here. So the installation is finished, and you can see that it gives me a hint of what the username and password should be. It says that you can connect using console, which is this one, and SSH using terminal software. The username and password that you are going to use is UCSPE, although I tried every combination of username and password and it accepts almost everything that you just type in. That's very funny. Okay, and the IP address here is 10.10.211. This is the IP address that you are going to have. So let's use this console. I'm going to click into here. Something that you should know is most of the time this console just hangs. It doesn't really let you do whatever you want to do, but I'm going to try it anyway, and after that I can connect using a software, a terminal software such as, I don't know, Putty, Super Putty, or in my case, for example, Secure CRT. So I just type UCSPE for username, hit, and UCSPE, and hit enter again. This is going to take me to this menu. I'm going to change the configuration of the network IP addresses. So I'm going to type N, hit enter. It says that there are 3 IP addresses here. One, the virtual IP, which is the most important one, because using this we can connect to both Fabric Interconnects. The second one is going to be IP addresses specific to Fabric Interconnect A, and the third one is going to be the IP addresses specific to Fabric Interconnect B. And finally, there is no default gateway configured. Modify configuration? Yes, of course. I'm going to say C for custom. And then it says, what is the VIP address? So that's going to be 10. Oh my god, I just forgot to enable numlock. 10, 10, 200, 100. Or let's say 200. That's easier. 10, 10, 200, 200. That's going to be my VIP. And the mask is going to be 24-bit. Then it says, okay, what is the IP address for Fabric Interconnect A? That's going to be 10, 10, 200, 201, 255, 255, 255, 0. For B, 10, 10, 200, 202, and 24-bit mask. What is the gateway? 10, 10, 200. Let me see the gateway IP address here. So I'm going to go to Virtual Network Editor. I just forgot to check the gateway here. I'm going to say change setting. So for VMnet 1, the subnet IP address is 10.10.200.0. DHCP settings says that The IP addresses start from 11, and cancel this out. And the gateway should be here. So if I just go to VMnet 1, go to property, go to IPv4, 10.10.201, this is the IP address assigned to this. That's okay, I'm going to use this one. So close and cancel this out and close this window as well. So I'm going to say 1. Okay, hit enter, and this is going to restart the network services. That's not going to take so long, but maybe 5 minutes or so. And in between, I'm going to do something. I'm going to open command prompt, and I'm going to say ping 10.10.200.200. I'm going to say -t and see whenever it starts replying. For now, this is restarting, so you see that the reply just died out. And after some time, I should see that this ping is going on, which means that now the service is working, and it is. And from time to time, of course, we see some timeouts, but that's okay. So this is generating the UCSPE catalog for now. After that, that is going to insert the devices, and I'm going to show you the topology that we have, but we are going to change the topology. I'm going to make it super simple because I'm not going to go with very, complicated topology, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. So this is done. If I hit enter, it says what is the password, UCSPE, hit enter. UCSPE, hit enter, and this is going to take me to this menu. And like I said, this is not working all the time. So if I just hit C, you see that there is nothing that accepts the command from it. Like I said, from time to time it gives me a bit of a nightmare. And what I need to do instead of this is to go to, let's say, secure CRT or something like that. I'm going to open this. I'm going to close this one because this is open from a previous session. I'm going to go and click on this file, quick connect. The IP address that I selected for this was 200.200. The username is UCSPE. Click on connect. That is going to give me a warning for the certificate, which is okay. And then it is going to ask for the password. Password is UCSPE, but like I said, I have selected all the combination, and now you see that this is a menu. And because this is not so visible, I'm going to change the theme here. So I go to appearance and I select one of these, for example this one. Click on that, and now I can easily read the stuff here. So there are some stuff here that we cannot really use and we do not really care. For example, the CLI shade. If I just hit C and enter, that's going to try to open this, but it says it failed to open default nets. I don't know what it is, and I don't really care, like I said. So that's it, but from here we can reboot, shut down, log off, and restart the process. Sometimes we want it. And also you can modify system settings. For example, if I hit T, you can see that you can change the date and time, high availability if you want to, and select NTP. I'm going to go back by hitting enter. You can this one, perform a factory reset. This one is very important. When you do not really want the topology that you have created, you can do a factory reset without installing. That's going to create the default topology for you. I'm going to close this, and I want to open a web page. I'm going to type 110.10.200.200. Hit enter. That's going to open the web interface. Sometimes it is going to take a little long. That's because the web service might be a little slow to start, so we need to wait for that. And I'm going to wait for this. And the page opens. So I'm going to open two of these here. Let me close these two. I'm going to open this page in another tab. So I have two tabs open with this. The first tab, this is going to be my equipment. On the second tab, I'm going to log in using Launch UCS Manager. That is the HTML5 version of the UI, and I'm going to type admin or admin without any password. Whatever you type is going to work. Even you can type UCSPE. I just typed admin. And funny enough, there is a reset password in this page. I'm going to say never save, and I'm going to say no, don't show this message to me, and click on OK. So you see there is a topology that is created by default. In this topology, there are two chassis, a UCS-B series. You can see that it is named chassis 3 and chassis 4. Chassis 3 has 2 plate servers, I believe, and this one has 3 plate server. You can just double click on that and see what it has. See, this has 3 plate server, 2 half width and 1 full width. Now I'm going to click on equipment one more time. This one, double click on that, it says only 2 plate servers. And here we have 8 UCS-C series servers down here. Now there are 2 fixes and 2 fabric interconnects. I'm going to show you a picture later that you can see that these 2 can be on top of the rack. These fabric interconnects can be on top of the racks. The fixes belong to the chassis, as a matter of fact. But you can separate them and again use them to connect multiple servers here. I'm not going to do this. What I'm going to do is to remove all these devices, and I'm going to create only one chassis, one UCS-C series server. That's it. This chassis is going to have 2 or 3 servers inside that. I'm not going to fully deploy all the servers, or maybe I do. I don't know. A fabric interconnects cannot be removed. And these are not real fabric interconnects, so we cannot really connect to them and do anything special. They are going to be just emulated here. So let's go back to the other tab that I have here. On the left, there is an equipment pane. You see that? If this is closed like this, you can just click on this little yellow bar and this is going to open. Click on equipment. This is the list of devices that you see in this topology. I'm going to remove all of them. The first thing that you need to do is to disconnect them. So there is a button here that says remove all devices. I'm going to click on that so that all the devices are going to be removed or basically decommissioned. That's going to take a few seconds. And then you should see that all these green buttons are going to turn red. And after that, I'm going to click on the recycle bin button, which is going to appear here. You see that it is not the case in fabric interconnects. So I'm going to just click on this button to remove all of these rack mount servers, which are those UCS-C series servers. Here, I just removed all of them. And I'll go down fabric extenders. I can keep them. I can remove them. Let's remove them. And then for chassis, I'm going to remove them as well. And I'm not going to keep anything here. For plate servers, all of them are removed. For enclosure, I'm going to remove it. For everything is removed. Okay. Now I'm going to add let's say a fabric extender here, or maybe 2. And let's just start from a chassis. That is better. So let's go with a UCS-B series server. So I'm going to click on chassis, and then let's say these are the templates that we have here. Let's say I'm going to select this 6508, and I'm going to say this is name chassis 1, or maybe 01, or whatever. I'm going to click on add. That's going to add a chassis here, but I need to edit that. This is just a blank chassis. It doesn't have any power unit, any fan, any server, anything in it. So what I'm going to do is to click on this edit button. This is going to take me here. It says that nothing is there. So I'm going to increase the height of this. I can add some blade servers here. These blade servers are going to be kind of a blank. So when you add them, all you need to go to blade servers later and see them and edit them. Instead of doing this, you can just go for templates. Templates are pre-configured blade servers. So you do not really need to go to there and configure blades again. This is easier to work with. So I'm going to say this one maybe here. This one that has 32 gig, I'm going to go there. This is M42, that's full blade. So I've added this. I'm going to add another one. And then I'm going to add a half fit. So that's going to, it says fail to add template. Compute blade is missing from template. Okay, let's go with some of these 200 M4 series. This one good. M4 large. I'm going to add another one, M4 large. Maybe, so I'm going to have 2 more of these. And then if I try to add more, this is going to add. This is funny. Let me see what I have. Okay, I added a lot of servers here. 4 servers actually. You see that I tried to add, but they are not going to be added more than this. So these are the things that we just added here. Okay, so this is a list of servers. So I need to have some power supply. So I'm going to go with, let's say, for example, this one. Some of them are not, compatible with this. It says the maximum slots are 4. I'm going to say from slot 1 to 4, I'm populating them. So that is going to be my power supplies. For fans, I'm going to try to add a fan here. It says 8 slots, and I'm going to populate all of them from 1 to 8. And then I'm going to have 2 I/O modules. Let's say that, for example, I'm going to add this one that has 8 ports. I'm going to try to drag it, and it says 2 I/O modules, 1 to 2. Hit enter, and that's it. Okay, now that I have done this, what I need to do is to connect them. And then I can insert the chassis. The first thing is to connect them. So I'm going to click on this connect. It says, do you want to connect all links? Yes, I do. So it is going to connect almost all links to here. You see that I have 2 IOMs. The first one is going to be started with 1 up to 8 ports. The second one from 2 up to 8 ports. And you see the port numbers here. So the first one is from port 17 to 24. The second one is from port 1 to 8. If you want to change this port numbering, it is possible. You just need to click on this pan. And then you can say, I'm going to connect this to Fabric Interconnect A. And I need to click on here. Maybe I can have enough space to see that. And the port number that I'm trying to connect to is, let's say, you see this is the port number. I was trying to find one, but I cannot. Let's start from whatever that it is there. I'm going to try to start from maybe 33. So that's going to connect to 33. If you are not happy with that, you can just unlink it. This is going to disconnect all links from here. So I'm going to do that. And that's going to be disconnected. One more time, if I want to do this manually, I can do that. Click on here. I'm going to connect this to Fabric Interconnect A. And what is free is from 17. So let's start from 17. So this is the way that you do that. On IO module 2, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to say edit FIB, and I'm going to start from 17 so that both of them look the same. So I'm going to do this on all of them. So let's be super fast. This one is going to be 18. And maybe 4 is going to be enough. So I'm going to say this is 19. And finally, this one is going to be 20. And the rest I'm going to delete it. This one, link is disconnected. This one, it says that this is not possible. So these 4 are enough for now. And from here, I'm going to say this is connected to Fabric Interconnect B, port 18. And this one is FIB, port 19, sorry. And the last one, port 20. So this way I'm going to configure the connections, and when I am done I can just click on this and say insert chassis. So that's going to take a little while, and after that it is going to give you a message that the chassis is inserted. So now that we have done this, I can click on this again yellow bar on the left, click on equipment. It's going to tell me that I have this chassis with these blade servers inside them. All of them are inserted. And if I just go back to this page, and I'm going to refresh this page so that you can see the new topology here. I just refresh it and leave the page anyway. It might ask me to log in one more time. And then finally it's going to take me to the page, and it is going to show me the new topology that I have created, which is a very simple topology. Let's add a UCS-C series server as well. So I'm going to go to here, go to rack servers. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to select one of these rack servers. It doesn't really matter which one. Let's say that, for example, this one, which is a new one. And I'm going to say this is called, let's say, server 01. I'm going to add it. Then I need to again go to edit. And in the edit page, I'm going to see the components that it has. If there is not enough components, I can add the components here. You see that it says we have some stuff in there. And of course this is disconnected. I'm going to click on this button to connect these to somewhere, but this is not, so I'm going to click on this. It says it is connected to fix. There is no fixes here. So before doing this, I need to have a fix here. So I'm going to go to Fabric Extenders. I'm going to have a fix for this side, and let's say that this one that has 32 ports, or maybe this one that has 48 ports is going to be okay. So that's going to be fix 01, and I need to of course connect this to Fabric Interconnect as well. So for side B, I'm going to say this is fix 02. So that's the same model, and I'm going to add it. And now that I have 2 fixes here, I can just go and click on this button. And I'm going to say, I'm not going to configure all of these devices. So I'm going to say this is connected to Fabric Interconnect A on port 21. I'm going to say this one is going to be connected to Fabric Interconnect A on port maybe 22. And that's it. And I'm going to say insert fix. If everything is okay, this is going to show me this green button here. The same thing for this one, which is connected to FIB on port 21 and 22. FIB on port 22. Okay, now that it is done, I'm going to insert this fix as well. And now I'm going to connect the rack mount server to this. It's going to take some time, of course. If nothing is wrong, that should be connected as well. So let me wait for that. Okay, now it is time to go to rack server and connect it to the fixes, to both of them, of course. So I'm going to click on this button, and this is going to take me here. And now I have two connections. Let's click this one on fix A. Let's see that port 1 is okay. And this one, fix B, and 1 is okay. Click on this red button, insert server. This has failed to insert pair device with serial is not discovered. Please initiate discovery of the peer device first and then do that. So I'm not so sure what it means. So it doesn't matter. We can add this later. But what I'm going to do is to go here, go back to the other tab, and I'm going to log in one more time to see the topology that we have created so far. And then we are going to work based on the topology here. So during the pause, I made some changes. The changes were on blade servers because I just made a mistake in inserting blade number 3. Number 3 was a full width blade, so it would occupy number 3 and 4. But I inserted something in number 4. And because this didn't give me any error, so that was kind of weird. I removed it. And I have added some half-width servers as well, so I have these slots filled with number 1 a half-width, number 2 a half-width, number 3 and 4 of course is going to be a full width, then number 5, 6, 7, 8, all of them with half-width servers. So after all, this is the topology that we have: a rack mount server down here, 2 fixes, 2 fabric interconnects that we cannot do anything about them, of course. We cannot change them, we cannot add or remove ports from them, modules or stuff like that. And also chassis up here. If I double click on that, this is the servers that we have on them. We can click on the servers and go down and read information about the server. For example, the number of CPUs, the number of adapters, also the amount of memory that it has, and the cores and stuff like that. So that would be the topology that I'm going to use for the course.